And I'm just going to spend a few minutes here giving you a real quick look at Server 2012. And you say, okay, well, why do I want to look at that? Well, because you'll probably be seeing it in the next 2 or 3 years as soon as the budgets get around to upgrading. And probably one of the biggest things about Server 2012 is how there's even more reliance on the PowerShell. And of course, with the Windows 8 roots in there, the tiled interface. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, that's not where we wanted to go. Anyway, let's go ahead and connect on up to Server 2012. Take our little first look here. Put in my super secret password that I'm not going to tell you, unlike other people. Okay, here we go. And we're connected.
Remember, the force will be with you.
No, it won't.
We're doomed. We're doomed.
No, we're not doomed. So, here we go. When we open up, log in, get into the server, here we are. First thing we're presented with is the fabulous, fantastic Server Manager. This is kind of, well, it's a dashboard. This is the center point of all things Server 2012. From this point, we can pretty much look at anything going on in the server without having to resort to PowerShell. However, if you're the sort that really likes PowerShell, we don't have to use that. We can go right here. This little icon here looks familiar. There we go. There's PowerShell. You know, we can do our get service. There we go, and see all our services, or you know, do a get process and see that good stuff. So if you're really into that stuff, that's nice. I think you're a little weird, but that's fine. Anyway, you're probably going to spend most of your time in Server Manager unless you really got a lot of scripting to do, and then you'll be in the PowerShell. We go from the dashboard, and you see a list here. And what you see, you'll always see in every install, even with Bone Stock, you'll see the dashboard, you'll see local server, which again gives you an even more detailed overview of what's going on in the server. So you see the services running, any events that are up there. Kind of a nice little centralized place, more so than even Server 2008's implementation of this particular applet. All servers. If you really actually want to do something from the Server Manager to the server, you're going to have to pick it from here. Remember that with Server 2012, Microsoft really doesn't want you to be on the server console. They want you to do everything remotely. So you're either going to do it like I'm doing it through a remote desktop session, or you're going to do it through the use of tools, which right now they say they install the remote server administration tools, RSAT, on Windows 7 and below. But they'd really rather have you do it on Windows 8. There's certain things that just don't quite fly. In fact, while I'm talking about that, this is the website, the wiki for TechNet, and they talk about the remote server administration tools and how to basically use them. Well, this little chart's what's most useful. You know, certificates, tools, domain servers, AD, lightweight, all this stuff can be managed through the remote tools if you choose to install them. What you're not going to be able to do much with through the remote tools, you see it right here, Hyper-V. They say that you can pretty much do that through what comes with Windows 8. Also, Server 2012, you can't manage Hyper-V on servers running 2008 or Server 2002. So it's pretty much Hyper-V 3.0 or nothing. Okay, but otherwise, most of the other stuff works. SMTP tools, Storage Explorer, you're not going to be able to mess with those, and so okay. Anyway, I just wanted to run over that really quickly, just show you some of the stuff. So that's one way. I usually like to do remote desktop just because I like to see what's actually happening. Anyway, we get back to our little remote desktop session here. And probably the easiest way to deal with most of the functions you're going to do with managing a server is just to go to the all servers and do a right click. And you see you can do it just about anything. You can shut it down, you can add roles, go to PowerShell, you can play with the NICs, Windows Automatic Feedback, yeah. And as you add roles, they show up in this list here. Hyper-V, I've got Hyper-V installed, IAS, remote desktop licensing, which is you're probably going to see screaming about something. No, we're not doomed. But you know, we can start the performance counters. Let's just go ahead and do that. And let's see what that shows us. See here, should go back to the local server and see if we can see anything. So, click here, one total tasks. Okay, didn't really do anything there. It's just waiting for data, so maybe something will happen as we click around here. Now, we're back at all servers again. This view shows you, again, this is where you can probably do most of your right-click GUI management. And there's some basic stuff here. It shows you. Best practice analyzer is interesting. So there you go. Now I have the file and storage services, so there's this little applet, and I can manage it. And you see that the right-click menus are context text sensitive, so you actually have maybe reduced level of functionality here, but it's appropriate for the context you're currently in, which for this one is file and storage. See, we have volumes. We can look at how the volumes are, and see what they're doing. The actual physical disks, and then storage pools, should we choose to configure one. So we do a new storage pool, and there's the whole menued interface here. Wizard, so you know, get out of that. Hyper-V, we can go to Hyper-V and look. I have Hyper-V installed, so I can take a look at what's going on there. And just, you know, these are all variations on a theme. So, and IIS, remote desktop. So this is because I have these roles, and that's the thing to remember. As you install things, this list is going to grow, and this is pretty much the quick start, quick roll, quick way to get there. Now, you say, okay, this is fine. I know about Server Manager. I've seen this before, and yes, I see this. No, we're not doomed. I just didn't want to do it at the console. I tried it, and it didn't go well, so whatever. Okay, so where's this mythical start menu? Because I'm looking over here, I'm going over here, and I'm not seeing a start menu. Oh, what was that? What was that beacon? What's that? What? Did something show up in the corner? Yes, it did. Remember, the charms or carrots, whatever you want to call them, this is just like Windows 8. You click certain places on the screen and things are going to happen. For example, if I go down in the lower right corner, well, look at that, just like Windows 8. Okay, I can go to my settings, I can go to the, oh, what's the start? What's start? Interesting. That's going to be the tiles. Let's go look at the tiles. That's exciting. Oh, isn't this exciting? Look at that. We have tiles. We can see, look, there's Hyper-V Manager, IIS, Remote Desktop, all the little roles and all the little management applets are going to show up here. You know, even the Catalyst Control Center, which, I actually installed this because I was trying to do something with Remote FX on Hyper-V for GUI acceleration. So there could be actually some 3D acceleration in remote desktops and Hyper-V sessions, and that didn't go well either, but that's another story. Anyway, you know, we've got the control panel, i.e. all this. Okay, and some people say, okay, we're looking at this, and no, we're not doomed. Here, it's here for a reason. I see where Microsoft's going with this. And it's actually not such a bad thing. I know, we all love the desktop. We're used to doing things there. Well, this is a desktop too, but it's a highly configurable desktop. For example, I can take any of these tiles and right-click them, and oh, look at that. I can pin them to the taskbar. Okay, let's try that. Let's pin that to the taskbar. What does that do for us? Okay, that's going to, oh, look at that. Okay, so we'll go back. I can open Internet Explorer. Okay, let's do that. Oh, big surprise. Unlike Windows 8 that has 2 versions of Internet Explorer, we have one, and the one they have opens on the desktop. What that tells me, right off the bat, is that they really don't want you to be doing web browsing on a server, and I get it. What it also tells me is that the desktop is really being deprecated in this case. No doubt about it. By the way, remember when I said pin to taskbar, the control panel? Well, look at that. I have a control panel right down here, just like you do on normal. and you have the normal. If you've looked at Server 2008, there's nothing really new here to see. You know, user accounts and all that good stuff. But the big thing to note is that a lot of stuff you're going to put here is going to launch on the desktop. Now, getting back to why I think I know where Microsoft's going with this. Now, I'm fairly certain there is nothing that happens on a Windows server that doesn't have something to do with group policy. And I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to lock this out, this desktop. If you do that, then people would only have access to the tiles that you put here. And if that's the case, then figure a scenario where you have a junior administrator. And say your junior administrator, all you really want them to do is play around with the administration, the default administration tools. Okay? Well, you could lock them into just having access to this, and you could probably even call this with group policy just for what they could see or at least access. But the big thing is that you don't have to worry about your junior administrator getting into places maybe they shouldn't be. Like maybe you don't want them to get into Hyper-V Manager or the IIS Manager. Maybe all you want them to do is user management. Well, there you go. You know, or maybe you just want them to look at Server Manager and just be able to look at things like, you know, maybe just kind of check the status of the server. You know, see what's happening here. So, you know, I mean, I can see where they're going. It's a way to kind of lock it down and kind of make it, even though they're going towards command lines and that type of thing, they want you to have the ability to secure this thing a little more. I mean, because let's face it, when everything runs on a desktop, it's darn hard to keep people out of the desktop without a lot of policy. So, now, what you notice is we have settings here. If we click settings, okay, this just like Windows 8, this is where we're actually able to power off. There's other ways. You saw the shutdown server in the Server Manager as well. We could do that. And yes, by the way, I know. No, I just turned off the Internet Explorer Enhanced Security because it annoys me. You know, because yes, you know, we shouldn't be browsing the web on the server. I get it. But again, we're in settings, and we can look at our network settings here and see if it's connected. And so we clicked it, and things are happening. It turns sharing off and on. So, or we could go, now this one's good. This is search. This isn't just going to bring up a search box. Watch this. Okay, look at all this crap. We got desktop. If we click that, we get back in here. Or we pretty much get, okay, that's fine. We get our admin tools. We get now whatever other apps we may have installed, Chaos Control, Windows Calculator. Think of this as the completely exploded out start menu with the program manager kind of thing. It's all the stuff you could possibly do is here. This is, remember, think of the tiles, as I've said before, in Windows 8 and here, think of the tiles as the start menu. And as such, think about where the control is. You know, component services, all that good stuff. And we can just get out of here with hitting escape. Well, we're back at our desktop. Also notice that unlike Server 8 or Windows 8 that's coming out, when you start Server 2012 and you get logged in, you go right to the desktop. You don't go to the charms. So you kind of know where the thinking is there. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at Server Manager again. And see, we have these up here. We can deal with what are notifications. I don't see anything. We do management. And again, this is a sub-menu, a context-sensitive menu. There's tools. And this is a lot of like what you just saw in the search panel there. System config, defrag, that's kind of funny. Defragment and optimized drives, like that happens often in the server. Our view, the help. Roles in the server, you see you've got the roles here, and there's some kind of you know, basically reporting at the dashboard here, let you know if there was something going on. There'd be a little red circle here telling you you need to look at this. You know, some manageability has got some stuff going on. IIS. Look at all servers. Go to all servers, saying that'll take us right in. So it's just basically manipulating the interface, so no big deal. So that's going to do it for part 1. I'm going to have a part 2 here. We're going to look at a couple other things, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and say so long for now. Be back in